and welcome to another episode of From the Honeycomb, a podcast that creates a spark of positive energy in your home to design, architecture, yoga, meditation, and travel. I've created this podcast as a place to come for design inspiration and especially to learn about Vastu Shastra with a modern approach. I am your host, Katerina, and welcome to From the Honeycomb. Well, happy Friday, everyone. I hope you all had another successful, great week. I'm excited again. I feel like I'm excited every episode to share with what I have researched and thought of and come up with. I always get so excited. I don't know even how to start these episodes sometimes with just saying, I'm just excited. I really am. This podcast has been so much fun to create episodes, do more research about Vastu Shastra, and just come up with fun topics. I have some fun guests coming up, but not to get sidetracked. I am excited about this episode because I think it may resonate with a lot of people right now who are going through career changes and who have gone through career changes, especially during COVID. And I know some of the articles I've been reading about how many people are shifting to new careers or trying new job opportunities, or really just having this overall shift in the world of what does everyone to do with their lives, with their careers, and also just how our work life has changed over the last 2 years from, there was a lot of hustle and grind, it felt like, and then COVID made us stop, slow down, work from home, reevaluate our values around our career. And so in today's episode, I want to share ways you can enhance your career using the Vastu Shastra principles. Well, as we begin every episode, let's take a moment to think of something we are grateful for in this moment. If you are new to this podcast, welcome. What I like to do is start off by sharing whatever it comes to mind that you are grateful for. It could be something small, large, anything in your life that just brings you gratitude. And as I was sitting down to put together this podcast episode, I was thinking, what am I grateful for? For some reason, I don't even know how it came up, but I was really grateful for my stocks. And that means like my investment stocks. And I started thinking about it. I had some conversations with friends yesterday about cryptocurrency and stocks and investments. And there was a gentleman who came into my office this past week to talk about 401ks. So for my non-US listeners, that means our retirement funds. And I'm just really grateful that I think it was about 2 years ago, I decided to buy some stocks, just some play stocks, some fun money to use for investments. And it has been really interesting to see how the market changes and grows. I never really thought about it or understood a lot of the numbers, and I still don't to some degree, but it's been interesting to see how current events and things that happen around the world have such a shift on this market. And so it's been really interesting to watch. I'm actually thinking about buying some more stocks and just to see how companies work and grow and, where to put your money. I'm really grateful that I took the plunge and decided to invest because I know it can seem daunting at first. And so I'm proud of myself and grateful that I decided to go ahead and buy some stocks because it has been really a fun learning experience to watch my money grow and then fall and then grow, and it's been very, very interesting for sure. All right, so today we are going to dive deeper than we have maybe in some other episodes where I just cover the basics of Vastu Shastra, and we are really going to focus on the southern part of the home. And this is because the southern part of the home focuses on your career and ambitions. Now, as a recap, or if you are new to the podcast, in Vastu Shastra, each direction of your home is governed by an element, a planet, and a deity. And in today's episode, we will go into the more specifics of the planet and deity that governs the south. Now, because the southeast is the fire element and the southwest is the earth element, the south is a bit of a mix of both. So, for example, when you are incorporating these elements into the south, know that you can mix and match with them in a way. So, for example, you can use a fire element like a candle and have your candles in a wooden holder that represents the earth element. So, you can kind of have a little bit of fun of mixing with both the earth and fire elements. And now the deity of the south is Yama. Now, Yama is the upholder of your Dharma, which your Dharma is your soul's purpose in life. And Yama is all about introspective, so you're looking inward. And he's also known as the god of death. He was the first man who died, thus creating a new path of mortality for all humans to follow. Now, because the south is the region of death, Yama guards it by presiding over the resting place of the dead. And now Yama also gives you the final judgment of the deeds and what you did in your life and determines your fate. So if you'll see images of Yama, you'll see him riding a buffalo, dressed in red garments, and often he is depicted to appear green or black. Now, the governing planet of the south is Mars, which has huge fire energy. Mars can control your motivation and your capacity to project what you are passionate about in your emotions. Mars has the power and energy to drive you towards your success and complete whatever it is you are working on. Now, on a physical level, Mars also governs your immune system, how you absorb food, your digestion, appetite, your liver, and your small intestines. And so, what rooms are the best to have in the southern part of your home? The living room, family rooms, social gathering rooms. You can also have your dining room. I know I mentioned in my previous episode in Cultivating Health and Well-Being through Vastu Shastra, I talked about the eastern part of the home, and the dining room can also be there, but it can also be in the southern part of your home. Now, bedrooms are very good to have in the south. Through some of the research I read, I found that actually females of the house should be sleeping in the southern part of the home because by having their bedroom there, you're fostering their prosperity in school and also marital relationships as well. And that, I guess, depends how you want to look at that as well. And of course, the kitchen area that does not have the cooking involved in it because the oven and the stove, that should be more in the southeast. So if there's an area of your kitchen that extends into the southern part of your home, those are rooms you can have. And of course, also an office or maybe your library. And so what does it mean to have an unbalanced southern part of the home? Well, an unbalanced part of the home means that you have blocked energy due to an architectural element or an unbalanced energy of elements. So you have more fire elements in the air region of your home, etc. So just an imbalance of energy, and you can feel that. I trust yourself. You can feel when a space doesn't feel energetically right. You walk into a room or a space and you go, oh, something's off in here. So you will feel that. Now, if the south side of your home is free of any defects, any ways that is causing there to be an imbalance, you will have success and prosperity in your career. But if there are energy blocks, which I'll go into more detail, if you do have energy blocks in the southern part of your home, it can lead to accidents or deaths in the home, war, bleeding, disorders, slow healing of wounds, and even impotence. So that's where you can see Yama coming in. Why he governs this area of the home is if you have these energy blocks, it will cause death, which is what Yama is the god of. And so also if you have too many windows and doors, or this part of your home is lower than the northern part of your home, it will create a loss of your personal recognition and finances because the energy is flowing through your home from the north. And once it gets into this area of the home, if you have a window or door there, the energy flows out. And so because there's nothing to catch it and keep it moving within your home, because you want that energy to flow throughout your home, throughout your spaces, and not leak out. And so actually one way you can kind of balance if you do have windows or doors around the southern part of your home, using shades, curtains, drapes, such things like that, that will keep that energy of the energy flowing through your home, but catching it so it doesn't leak out. Now there's the radiation from the sun, which has numerous electromagnetic waves. And so for those, of course, if you're listening from the northern hemisphere, the southern part of your home will be exposed to the most amount of sunlight. A little bit in the east, a little bit on the west, but the south especially. And so you have the infrared and gamma rays that come in from the sun, and these can affect your health. So it's the same as when you're outside and the sun is bright and you need to wear sunscreen to protect your skin and your skin cells. The same thing happens when the radiation from the sun enters your home with these electromagnetic waves that can create that disturbance to the flow of energy. And so how to balance the southern part of the home? Adding colors like fiery red or jet black or dark hues. You really want to avoid, grays and blacks. Think of those more fire element, earth element colors. And I have an episode on Vastu Shastra colors where I dive deeper into different colors. But one thing I like to do is add flowers, fresh flowers in our home. And our dining room is in the southern part of our home. I love to add red flowers when I know there's something career-wise that's occurring, and so in our lives. And where we need that flow of energy just to create that more prosperous energy into our careers. And so a few weeks ago, Jesse had his contractor's licensing exams. And so I took the beautiful red roses he got me for Valentine's Day, and I've kept them in the dining room throughout all the month of February, adding that red color to that southern part of the home, enhance that career energy, and he passed both of his exams. And so there really is just these little things you can do that foster that growth of that energy towards what you're working for. Now, yellow stimulates communication, concentration, restful intellect. You can add a light shade of yellow to your bedroom also. You can do this by, adding a pillow or having a yellow bedspread or even a painting on a wall. Another color you can use is orange. Orange brings in happiness. It's a social color, so it's good for those social gathering spaces, so your family room, living room, if that's what you have in that southern part of your home. Now you can add the orange by having an accent wall painted orange, or it can be as simple as having a bowl of oranges on the table when you have friends and family coming over, or just using it to decorate. Now, materials that are good to have in this part of the home are wrought iron, which, as I was thinking about this, I was thinking in our home, because whenever I do these episodes and I am incorporating all these elements, of course, I tap into the knowledge that I have of our home and what I have used in our home to incorporate the Vastu Shastra principles. But I was a little stuck with the wrought iron because I don't think we have one. Actually, I take that back. We might have two wrought iron. No, we do. We have two wrought iron shepherd's poles. If you know what those are, shepherd's poles they look like what a shepherd has, where he has like a big pole and he has this like stick, and then on the top of it it's a curve like a shepherd's pole. Well, we have two of those that are wrought iron that you can hang plants on. So we actually do have those, but those are outside on our patio, so we can't really, I don't know how I could incorporate them into our living room. But it just occurred to me, oh my gosh, we do have wrought iron material in our dining room. I can't believe I forgot about this. We have these they were like these wrought iron holders for these water vases, and we took them out and instead hung those air plants to incorporate like the ground element, and underneath it's a flame we have like a candle, so it looks like the candle flame, so the air plant is the flame above the candle, and it's in this wrought iron. I'll have to post a photo on Instagram, but so, okay, well, I take that back. It didn't even occur to me, of course, that we do have like a wrought iron material in the southern part of our home, which is the dining room. So you also want to put heavier furniture in this part of the home or the space you live in. So if you have bookshelves or a bed, for example, the southern part of your home, this is really good because you want that heaviness to hold that energy as it flows. So in the northern part of the home, you want lighter pieces of furniture. You don't want, a massive couch, because that'll not allow the energy to flow through. And so, of course, that includes plants. So if you have tall plants, you want them in the southern part of your home, and you want that north to be open and free for the energy to flow. And of course, I feel like I mentioned this in every episode, is reduce clutter in the space of this home. So clutter creates stagnant energy that is an obstacle for your success. And of course, when you have a messy area and you're trying to work, it can be hard to focus because you have so much other stuff around you, and everything that you have around you has its own energy. And so it isn't allowing you to create that flow, to harness whatever it is that you are working on, the energy you're working on, to be successful at what you are working on. Now, if you are looking to balance the workspace of your home, I do have a podcast episode on that about incorporating Vastu Shastra principles to your desk. So I'll definitely leave a link in the show notes for that as well. Maybe you are living with roommates, or you can't exactly touch the southern part of the home because it's a communal area. So there is a way you can really tap into that career energy by creating an altar. And so you can build an altar that enhances your career and recognition. And this altar can be something very small and simple. And you should have this altar, if you can, in the southern part of your home or southern part of your room, or along the south wall. This space that you create around this altar should be sacred for you, especially what you put on the altar. Any item you put on should be very meaningful to you. And so to each altar, though, you want to add all of the elements. So to recap, the northwest is the air element, so you could do some sort of incense. The northeast is water, so maybe a vase with a red flower, right? Because you're tapping into that southern energy, so you want that red color. Then you have the southeast, which is the fire element, so maybe you have a red candle. And then you have the southwest element, which is the earth element. So you could have a red quartz crystal, something that has that earth element. You can have a small statue of Ganesh, because Ganesh is the god who removes obstacles, right? So any obstacles you may be facing in your career, Ganesh is there to help you. Also, there's Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance. So maybe having a little statue of her, or it could even be a picture. The colors, of course, you want to incorporate are the reds and golds. And maybe the aroma you could have is frankincense. That's a great scent and aroma to use. Or maybe instead of an incense, it could be an essential oil you put into your diffuser, right? Your diffuser could be a water element you have, or an air element. Diffuser is one great tool you can use. And a great thing you can also add is a photo of you from a successful moment in your life, or something that inspires success in your life. So it could be a photo of you from a graduation. It could be high school graduation, college graduation, that moment that you had success. Or it could be you with your first paycheck, first whatever it is that you had, whatever felt successful in your life. If you have an image of that, add that to your altar. With this altar, you want to take care of it, right? You want to come back to it. You don't want to just let it sit there and collect dust, because you want that energy to flow. So when you come to this altar, you can sit with it, in front of it, and think about these career aspirations that you have, or whatever it is that you're calling into, as you sit in front of this altar. And you can do this every day for as long as you feel like you need to be there, and see what comes up too as you're sitting in front of this altar. And so, balancing the southern part of your home, there are so many ways you can balance to enhance your career, recognition, your success. There's just so many tools you can use. I encourage you to use these tools I have shared and experiment with what feels right for you, for the space and you. Trust yourself as you make changes, because you will feel if something is off or the energy just doesn't feel right, and you don't want to force it. And also always do everything and do so with good intention. This is some theme I have in a lot of my podcast episodes is as you're incorporating these colors, these elements, these flowers, you're painting your wall, do so with good intention, because this good intention that you put into it, the energy will return positively towards you. And so I wish you all lots of success in your careers, in your aspirations, whatever it is you are working on. If you are shifting your career, jumping into a new project, take time to look at the southern part of your home and see how the energy flows there, because you can tap into the energy to create a more success in your life. And I'd love to see and share what you've done. So please tag me in your photos at From the Honeycomb Podcast on Instagram. And I'd love to see what you all come up with. If you like this episode, please give it a heart or thumbs up and click the follow button so you can stay up to date on the latest episodes. Thank you so much and see you next Friday.